Easy English Hub.
Hey, have you ever thought about traveling the world?
Absolutely. It's one of my biggest dreams. There's so much to see and experience out there. Do you have any favorite destinations in mind?
I've always wanted to visit Japan. The culture, the food, the technology, everything seems so fascinating. What about you?
Japan sounds amazing. For me, it's Italy. The history, the art, and of course, the food. I can't wait to see places like Rome and Venice.
Italy is definitely on my list too. Have you ever traveled abroad before?
Yes, I went to France a couple of years ago. Paris was incredible, especially the Eiffel Tower at night. How about you?
I've been to Thailand. The beaches were stunning, and the street food was out of this world. I loved every moment of it.
That sounds fantastic. Traveling really opens up your perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. You get to meet new people, try new things, and learn so much about different cultures. It's like an adventure every time.
Exactly. And the memories you make are priceless. Do you have any travel plans for the near future?
I'm hoping to visit Spain next year. I've heard so much about the vibrant festivals and beautiful architecture. What about you?
I'm planning a trip to Australia. The Great Barrier Reef and the Outback are calling my name. Plus, I've always wanted to see kangaroos in the wild.
That sounds like an epic adventure. I hope you have a fantastic time.
Thanks. I hope you do too. Maybe one day, we'll cross paths in some exotic location.
That would be amazing. Here's to many more adventures and unforgettable experiences.
Speaking of adventures,
Have you ever tried any extreme sports while traveling?
I have. I went bungee jumping in New Zealand. It was terrifying but exhilarating at the same time. Have you tried anything like that?
Wow, that sounds intense. I haven't done anything that extreme, but I did go scuba diving in Thailand. It was incredible to see the underwater world up close.
Scuba diving sounds amazing. I'd love to try that someday. Did you see any interesting marine life?
Yes, I saw colorful coral reefs, schools of fish, and even a sea turtle. It was like being in a different world.
That sounds so cool. I think experiencing nature in such a direct way is one of the best parts of traveling.
I agree. It's also a great way to learn about the environment and the importance of protecting it. Have you done any other adventurous activities?
I've also tried ziplining in Costa Rica. Flying over the rainforest canopy was such a rush. What about you?
I've done some hiking in the Swiss Alps. The views were breathtaking, and it was so peaceful up there.
Hiking in the Alps must have been incredible. The mountains are so majestic. Did you take a lot of photos?
I did. I love capturing the beauty of nature. It's like bringing a piece of the adventure back home with you.
That's a great way to look at it. Photos can really help you relive those moments. Do you share your travel photos on social media?
Yes, I do. It's a fun way to share my experiences with friends and family. Plus, it's a great way to connect with other travelers. Do you share your adventures online?
I do too. I enjoy writing travel blogs and posting photos. It's a nice way to document my journeys and inspire others to explore.
That's awesome. Maybe we should follow each other and keep up with our adventures.
Definitely. I'd love to see your travel photos and read about your experiences. What's your handle? It's at Wanderlust Girl. What's yours?
Mine is at Globetrotter Boy. Looking forward to seeing your posts.
Same here. It's always great to connect with fellow travelers. Who knows, maybe we'll even plan a trip together someday.
That would be fantastic. There's so much of the world to see, and it's always better with good company.
Absolutely. Here's to many more adventures and unforgettable memories.
speaking of planning trips,
Do you prefer spontaneous travel, or do you like to plan everything in advance?
I like a mix of both. I usually plan the major details like flights and accommodations, but I leave some room for spontaneity. How about you?
I'm the same way. I think having a basic plan helps, but some of the best experiences come from unplanned adventures.
Exactly. Sometimes the unexpected moments are the most memorable. Have you ever had a spontaneous adventure that turned out amazing?
Yes. Once, I ended up in a small village in Italy that wasn't on my itinerary. I stumbled upon a local festival and had the best time. The food, music, and people were incredible.
That sounds like a fantastic experience. It's those kinds of surprises that make traveling so special. Do you have any travel tips for making the most out of spontaneous adventures?
I'd say always be open to new experiences and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Also, talking to locals can lead to some great recommendations.
Great advice. Locals often know the best hidden gems. Do you have any favorite travel apps or tools that help you on your journeys?
I love using Google Maps for navigation and TripAdvisor for finding good places to eat and visit. What about you?
I use those too. I also like using Airbnb for unique accommodations and Skyscanner for finding cheap flights.
Those are great tools. It's amazing how technology has made traveling so much easier and more accessible.
Absolutely. It allows us to explore more and make the most out of our trips. Do you have any dream destinations that you haven't visited yet?
I'd love to visit Iceland. The landscapes look otherworldly, and I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. What about you?
Iceland is on my list too. Another place I'd love to visit is New Zealand. The natural beauty there is just stunning.
New Zealand looks incredible. The mountains, beaches, and everything in between. It's like a paradise for nature lovers.
Definitely. I think both Iceland and New Zealand would be amazing adventures. Maybe we should start planning.
That sounds like a great idea. It's always fun to dream about future travels. Do you have any travel traditions or rituals?
I always try to learn a few basic phrases in the local language. It helps with communication and shows respect for the culture. Do you have any?
I like to collect postcards from every place I visit. It's a simple way to remember each trip and the places I've been.
That's a wonderful tradition. Postcards are such a nice keepsake. Do you display them somewhere?
Yes, I have a wall in my room dedicated to them. It's like a visual diary of my travels.
That sounds amazing. It's a great way to keep those memories alive and inspire future adventures.
Exactly. Every time I look at them, I feel inspired to explore more. Here's to many more travels and unforgettable experiences.
Cheers to that. Let's keep exploring and making memories.
Speaking of memories,
Do you have a favorite travel memory that stands out?
One of my favorite memories is watching the sunrise over the Grand Canyon. It was such a peaceful and awe-inspiring moment. What about you?
That sounds incredible. For me, it was a hot air balloon ride over Cappadocia in Turkey. The view of the fairy chimneys and the landscape was just magical.
That must have been an unforgettable experience. It's moments like those that make traveling so special.
Absolutely. It's those unique experiences that stay with you forever. Do you have any upcoming trips planned?
I'm planning a road trip along the Pacific Coast Highway in California. The scenic views are supposed to be amazing. How about you?
That sounds like a fantastic trip. I'm planning to visit Greece. The history and the islands are calling my name.
Greece is beautiful. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time. Maybe we can share our travel stories when we get back.
I'd love that. It's always great to share experiences with someone who appreciates travel as much as I do.
Definitely. Here's to many more adventures and unforgettable memories. Safe travels?
Safe travels to you too. Until our next adventure.
speaking of sharing stories,
Do you have any funny travel moments?
Oh, definitely. Once, I got lost in Venice's narrow streets and ended up at a local's birthday party. They were so welcoming and even invited me to join the celebration. What about you?
That's hilarious. I once tried to order food in a small French village with my limited French skills. I ended up with a dish I didn't recognize, but it turned out to be delicious. Sometimes those unexpected moments are the best.
Absolutely. It's all part of the adventure. Have you ever made any lasting friendships while traveling?
Yes, I met a fellow traveler in Bali, and we've stayed in touch ever since. We even plan trips together now. It's amazing how travel can bring people together.
That's wonderful. I've made some great friends on my travels too. It's like you form a special bond because of the shared experiences.
Exactly. It's one of the best parts of traveling. Do you have any tips for meeting new people while on the road?
I'd say be open and approachable. Join group tours or activities, and don't be afraid to strike up a conversation. What about you?
I agree. Also, staying in hostels or attending local events can be great ways to meet fellow travelers and locals.
Great tips. It's all about being open to new experiences and connections. Here's to many more adventures and the friends we make along the way.
Cheers to that. Safe travels and happy exploring.
Safe travels to you too. Until our next adventure.